Welcome to this Yoga Nidra practice. This is an invitation to explore the liminal place in our brain, in our awareness. Yoga Nidra is a really, really nice, enjoyable practice to move away from the thinking, analytical process of our mind and to journey a little bit deeper into the imaginative, slightly awake, slightly asleep part of the mind. It's a place where things are less about logic and analysis, and they're more about feeling and all the subtle things that happen when we are between sleep and between wakefulness. In other words, Yoga Nidra can help induce a mild and safe trance state. So you're invited to use this recording during the day when you want to take a break, or when you're moving from doing one activity to another, or you just want to switch off for a little while. This is a fairly short Nidra recording to make sure you can easily just hop on, rest, refresh your brain, only needing a short amount of time to go fairly deep into the mild trance state that is Yoga Nidra. The best part of Yoga Nidra is that there's no way to do it right and there's no way to do it wrong either. There's no one to impress. There's no skill to develop. It's just a place that you can go to. And the more you practice Nidra, the more it is easy for the mind to flow into that liminal place, flow into that mild trance state. But some days we switch off easier than others, so if you do find yourself judging yourself for not being able to fully switch off, please notice when that happens and remind yourself that there is no right or wrong way to practice Nidra. And any form of rest is good. So go ahead and make yourself comfortable. Typically people like to lie down when they practice Yoga Nidra, but if you prefer for whatever reason to be seated, you can do that too. Just make sure your back is resting against the surface. And we are aiming for 0 effort. Our body can just lie there and rest, and our muscles can fully release and not have to hold anything in. Not have to hold anything in place. So feel free to pause this recording whilst you make your nest. Grab pillows, blankets, eye pillows, warm socks, whatever it is you need to keep yourself warm, comfortable, and feeling quite cozy. And now that you are in your comfortable nest, we can begin the session by taking 3 big breaths. That is an inhale and an exhale in your own time. Make them as big and generous as you possibly can. And these breaths serve as an indicator that the start of the Nidra practice is here. We are now starting the session. Now people often think that rest is an empty place. Nothing happens when you rest. It's more of a pause of time. And although that is quite nice, I do think that there's a little bit more to rest than just a break. And many people find that when they take the time to switch off and just be without an agenda, things kind of resolve and clear up at the back of their mind. Sometimes ideas flow in unexpectedly, and that is to be expected because the brain waves that happen when we enter the Nidra state promote creativity. They promote better sleep. They promote the parts of the brain that are less about logic and analysis and structure, and more about everything that is in between structures. There is much value in practicing Yoga Nidra. So take a moment to acknowledge, what is your intention for today's session? Is it just to switch off? Is it to explore mild trance states? Is it to release any heavy emotion or burden? Or is it simply just to rest? Again, know that there's no right or wrong way to practice Nidra. It is all just an exploration. And we can begin the session by feeling into the outlines of the body, as if you were tracing the shape of your body on a piece of paper, with the tip of a pencil starting from the top of the head down to the right side of the body. So you're tracing the side of the head, down the right neck, right shoulder, all the way down the arms and around the fingers, beneath the arms, the rib cage and the waist, and the right side of the leg, and around until you reach the inside of the left leg, and around the outskirts of the left hip and the waist and the rib, all around the left arm, up the left neck, all the way to the side of the head and back at the top. And feel those edges of the body as they rest on the ground, scanning the lower part of the body, the back part of the body, back of legs, the back, back of the arms, back of the head. And on your next exhale, feel like the weight is fully released. Anything that you might have been holding into your muscles, let your muscles release the grasp so that the body can rest a little bit heavier on the ground. And then we'll scan the top half of the body, the front half of the body. So the face, maybe your facial features can soften, the cheeks can release, the jaw can release, the eyeballs can rest in the eye sockets. You might want to, at this point, start to close your eyes. But if you want to keep your eyes open, that is also fine. You can soften your gaze, fixate your gaze on one spot. Go ahead and scan the chest, the belly, the top half of the legs, top of the feet, top of the arms. And feel into the fabric of the clothing or the blanket that is resting on your body. Just the texture and the feeling of it. Another big breath in and a big breath out. Take your time. Give yourself permission to take all your time here. There's no rush. There's nowhere to be. There's nothing to do right now. And finally, we will scan the inside of our body. So feel in the inside of your mouth, the sides of the cheeks, the tongue, the roof of the mouth, the back of the teeth. Maybe you can kind of rest the tip of your tongue against the back of the teeth and glide it across. Why not? Feel into the insides of the nose, the nostrils, the insides of the ear canals. These precious intricate tunnels inside the ears that help you hear and listen and enjoy your favorite music. Isn't that nice? And then down the windpipe and the lungs. Inside the belly with all the digestive juices and the digestion happening and the filtering of things. And the cleansing action of your liver and the kidneys. Into the bladder. And feel into the insides of the hips. The insides of the dense muscles in the legs and the buttocks. And the arrangements of the tendons and joints around the knee. And in the feet as well. Those long toe bones. Sweeping your awareness across the upper part of the body that is facing up, and then the lower part of the body that is resting on the ground, and the inside of the body and all the crazy amazing stuff that happens there. And releasing that. Feeling into your breath now. And feeling into the joy and the pleasure that it is to just be resting. Letting absolute stillness take over your body. And slowly, your mind will start to be stiller and stiller as well. Watching your thoughts as they start to slow right down and morph into your breath as you breathe the air in. And as you release that air on your exhale. Thoughts morphing into your breath. And every time that your mind wants to fixate on narratives and random thoughts that pop into your head, as they will always do, shape-shift it back into your breath. We'll take a few more conscious breaths here. And the full release of the exhale. And this feeling of lightness and floating as you breathe in. So you might notice that you could play with the notion of floating and being as light as air when you breathe in. See if you can imagine that. It's almost like you're lifting a few millimeters off the ground. And then as you breathe out, deep into the exhale, it's like you're resting into the ground and even deeper into the roots of the trees, into the soil. The foundation of the earth itself. And then breathing in, you're lifting up and out and just above the ground, breathing nice and easy. And then floating all the way back down until you reach the depths of the soil, into the roots of the trees, heavy and grounded and solid. Carrying on with that imagination as you breathe in and out, fluctuating between those two states of light and heavy and light. Light and heavy, heavy and light. And then for a moment now, let's explore what it might feel like to be heavy and light at the same time. Floating in the air just off the ground and being deep into the soil at the same time. Lifted and grounded. And releasing that and coming back to the flow of your breath. Let's take 3 clearing breaths. This time, slow it right down. Make your inhale as slow and long as you can. And then an exhale as long and as slow as you can. Twice more like that, in your own rhythm. Enjoying being in a place where you don't need to rush. And settling back into your regular breathing. Feeling into your whole body. And we're going to take a journey around the body. So every time I name a body part, you can shine your awareness there. And you can always play with a bit of imagination here. Some people like to imagine a little candlelight or a little starlight on the place of the body that is being named. So you can kind of visually express that awareness. Other people just like to really feel into that body part. We're going to start with the right hand. Feel into all 5 fingers of the right hand. Shining your awareness there. Palm of the hand, top of the hand, tips of the fingers, all at once. And then we will shift our awareness into the wrist of the right hand and into the elbow of the right arm, shoulder, in between the shoulders, left and right. And bringing your awareness, shining your light of awareness into the left shoulder. Sweeping it across and down the arm into the left elbow. Left wrist of the left hand. All 5 fingers. Palm of the left hand and top of the hand. And for a moment now, feel into both the right arm and the left arm. Feel the weight and feel the lightness. Heavy arms and light arms. Moving to the base of the throat, shining your awareness there, the little dip. And we'll move straight down across the entire chest. So the left side of the chest and the right side of the chest. And then into the rib cage, left side of the rib cage, right side of the rib cage. And into the waist on both sides, left waist, right waist. And take a big breath in, so both sides of the body expand as you breathe in. And move back to the middle as you breathe out. Feeling the expansion and the contraction of your upper body as you breathe. And then on the next exhale, whenever that comes, we're going to shift our awareness into the right hip, the right buttock, the thigh, the right knee, down into the right ankle, top of the foot, sole of the foot, and all 5 toes of the right foot together. Sweeping your awareness from the right foot all the way up the leg into the right hip, and then we will go ahead and move across the pubic bone to reach the left hip, left buttock, left thigh, knee, ankle, the top of the left foot and the sole of the left foot, and all 5 toes together. Now take a moment to feel the weight of the left leg as it rests and relaxes on the ground, and feel into the weight of the right leg. Feeling into both legs, left and right, right and left. Shining with your awareness. And then finally we will trace from the tailbone slowly up the spine, starting from the tailbone into the lower back and the middle and the upper back. Feeling into back of the neck, back of the skull, and sweeping your awareness all the way to the forehead. Right eyebrow, left eyebrow, right eye, left eye, right nostril, left nostril, upper lip and lower lip, and the chin. And resting your awareness, finally settling it into the base of the throat. And for a moment now, visually see the outline of your body and feel its shape. Feel the comfort of the body resting. The top half of the body breathing the air in, and the back of the body resting, grounding on the floor, or the bed, or the sofa, wherever it is that you're lying on. keeping your mind's eye on the entire body. And we're going to go ahead and bring our awareness to our breathing. Nothing special. We will just focus our awareness on the inhales and the exhales for a few moments. And get back into that sense of the mind morphing into the breath. Shape-shifting. Sometimes the mind starts to think and then it forms back into a breath and flows a little bit, and then maybe another thought will come and then it will go back into the breath, and just the ebb and flow, which is very natural to the mind. It likes to ebb and it likes to flow. Feeling your breath, your mind breath as it flows. It skirts around the edges of a thought and then goes back into a long exhale. I will go quiet now just for a short while to allow you to fully settle into this feeling, this flow of your breath. And when it is time, I will bring us back and gently out of our little trance session. And every time your mind wavers, bring it back to the trusted flow of the breath. We're going to start to deepen our breath now and gently, slowly bring our awareness out of the Nidra trance state and gently back into a more day-to-day state of awareness. Starting by deepening your breath, making it a little bit more active. You might want to blow the air out through your lips. Like the sound of the wind. Oh, and taking a few yawns if they come to you. Feeling once more into the sensations of your body, and the edges of the body and the inside of the body. Maybe you want to swallow a few times, feel into the corners of the mouth with the tip of your tongue. And you might want to start to gently open and close your eyelids a few times if your eyes had been closed during the session. Just slowly starting to get used to the level of light in the space that you're in. Until your eyes feel comfortable and happy enough to be open. And bringing yourself fully back into the space. And feeling into the impressions, the leftover sensations of what this short session of rest has felt like for you. And knowing that you won't have to rush out of this if you don't want to. You can rest where you are once the recording is over. And just take it in. Feel it out. Before you then roll over onto your side and get on with any other activity in your day. So I want to take a moment just to thank you for tuning in and listening. And do take care of yourself. Goodbye for now.